Oh yeah, that's quick. That is quick. Don't care what the GPS says, that is quick. Yes, that's right, it's Joe here for Joyrider TV. Yes, that's right. I've put the 360 cam in the most awkward position on the boat possible to get the coolest shots on this speed run. And yes, I'm going out with the dark matter sails on the Hobie 16 to see how fast I can go single-handed. Thank you very much. All right, first job, get trapezing before I leave the moorings. Okay. So just go try to get some height first. Pull the jib in pretty tight. Need to get around the front of this yacht. So I'm going to get forwards a little bit. Okay, so we are looking, as we go, a bit of hand coordination. Operating the main sheet and the stick from out here on the trapeze. When I'm easing main sheet, I'm using this clutching technique with the sheet going round my first finger. And that means I can really limit how much sheet I'm working with. Now I have got a bit too much juice on here, so I'm going to have to let the traveller out. But to get the traveller rope, the traveller line, what I'm going to do is just flick the main sheet so it comes around my front leg, then traveller goes out just in time, so it seemed. Get the main sheet back on the boat and then off we go. Okay, but she's going pretty well. Good bit of wind, probably 18 knots, maybe a bit more in this next gust. Okay, and yes, as advertised, the camera is in a pretty awkward spot, but once I get past this wing, I am going to take it down the mine shaft a bit. So passing the stick under the camera, getting to the back. We have got quite a lot of jib on, which could lead to things happening. Yeah, but other than that, it's not too bad. So I've just got a bit of traffic to get past before unleashing the fury. All right, here we go. Let's give this a red hot shot. Oh yeah, that's quick. That is quick. Don't care what the GPS says, that is quick. Oh, the power of the dark matter sails. The Super R pulling like a pack of dogs from Whirlwind Sails. All right, whew. Very exciting. Camera mount just in the way enough to make it a bit awkward. God, the rudders feel great as well. Okay, and I'm going to bring her up again, so just need to get the main sheet off the camera mount, pass the stick over the camera mount. Right. A lot of camera mount issues on this little trip, but it's the price you pay when you're paying the price. Okay, very nice. That was a good run. That is in fact the best this boat has felt since it's been mined, since I glued it together, in fact. Okay, so I'm going to go into the boat and yeah, in fact we could sail along a little bit more while we've got the camera in position. In fact, we could position the camera a little bit better. for this next bit. Yes, let's do that. All right. So I'm going to come in, main sheet and stick in the same hand. Coming in, just sheeting out a bit once I'm in for this casual style of sailing. Easing off a bit there, ease off a bit on the jib. Okay, nice. So camera position number 1 was like this, ridiculous. Now I'm going to put it a bit more upright. Okay, so as I've said before, the more that we play the main sheet as we sail along, especially in the strong winds, the more that we're in control of the boat and less that the boat is just taking us for a ride. So what we're looking at is, right, easing out, clutching like I was doing earlier. Then if I have to bring in another handful of main sheet, getting a bit gusty, got a wider stance on here. Oh, we're into the ballistic zone. Yeah, so if I want a bit, bit more main sheet in, I'll bring the main sheet over to the stick hand, grab it lower down, and then I can get that extra arm of main sheet in. And then I'm trying to get the main sheet into a spot where I can just work it with one arm's length. If I'm constantly having to sheet out all the time, then I'll let out a bit more traveller. Then we'll be able to sail with a tighter sheet. But here we go, just sheeting out, bringing it in, a bit more of a gust, sheeting out a bit more. So to bring it back in, I'm just gonna do that quick hand transfer, because you see I'm holding the stick like this, which means I've got 2 fingers just for quickly grabbing the main sheet. Okay, and like I did just now, coming back in off the trapeze, putting the main sheet in the stick hand. Whew, nearly stacked it there. Yeah, a bit of a wind shift as I came in, so I'll let the jib off and might let the downhaul off so that the boat sits nicely so that I can change the position of the camera. Okay, repositioned. That looks pretty good. Trapeze is looking pretty good. All right, more of the same. Okay, so see how well the boat was parked there while we were doing that? That's because I let the downhaul off. And every time the mainsail kind of grips, it's trying to go into the wind. I'm gonna bring the jib sheet over to the operations side of things. So I'll just shove that in there. That means I can get hold of it. Downhaul going on. So I'm only putting the downhaul on when I'm actually ready to start giving it some beans again. Put on, so a bit more downhaul this time. I'm actually gonna take the downhaul rope, put it in a pocket, because we don't want lines that we're not using getting in the way. All right, out on the trapeze, and I think we're going straight down the mine shaft, although, whoa, yeah, as I was gonna say, it looks a bit gusty. So I want to use one of these early gusts to get as far downwind as possible, which means going fast. Okay, yes, I've got the traveller line in the water behind me, but I've got it up on the leg, which is keeping it away from the rudder. Okay, main sheet crank, just waiting for this gust. Here we go, and here we go, party time. Bearing away as I sheet out, bearing in again. Oh yeah, port rudder, starboard rudder not quite as well behaved as the port one. Oh yeah, a bit of wind there, very nice. Not bad. If I just don't use the rudders very much, then it goes pretty nicely. You can see that main sheet technique. Sorry, there was a bit of intensity there as we were in that big gust. Next big gust, it's got to be 20 knots now. All right, and I've spotted media boat, so I'm going to come upwind a little bit more. Get tidied up. Get the jib in. You don't want to have an untidy boat if you're going to get a nice photo. Oh no. All right, so here we go. More of an upwind course now. Close reach, footing mode. Get that hull up. That's what they said. So leaning in, getting the hull up, get forwards a bit better trim. Just popping a little bit of a hull up for the sports fans on the photo boat. Right, back down the mine shaft. Jib's a bit tighter now. This could mean many things, but maybe the tighter jib is actually going to balance the rudders a bit better. Looking pretty good. This is so much fun. If you haven't sailed a catamaran before and you're watching this, you need to get into this because this is amazing. Right, what I'm doing right now, I'd say is probably, if catamaran sailing goes from 0 to level 10, this is probably a strong 7. All right. Well, without capsizing. All right, so coming back up. Moving forwards as I turn up, because if we don't move forwards as we turn up, then the boat will pop a big wheelie, you get swept off the back, and either you just have a nice bit of low budget water skiing, or you actually capsize. Yeah, it feels very quick today. This is definitely the best the boat's felt. And since the last sail, I've actually sorted the gooseneck slider issue out. I just put an extension piece going to the boom. All right, coming in. So that the gooseneck's lower down. Static 3-point turn, she said. Yes, all right. Could pull the downhaul on afterwards, in fact. So, bringing the main sheet in, boat will go into the wind. As soon as the jib backs, main sheet off, reversing the rudders, pulling the boom towards, just because we hadn't quite gone through, making sure the jib is loose. Get out on the trapeze straight away, pretty much, down the mine shaft, because it's a little busy up here. All right, it's definitely better without the camera in my face. That's quick. Pretty quick anyway. Right, I've just tucked the traveller line into my harness. Could it be a mistake? There's every chance, of course, but we do what we can. Right, just waiting for this aero to go past the media boat. See, everyone loves the picture. Ah, they're going up a bit. It means I've got to pull a bit of jib in. All right. And here comes the dark matter Hobie 16. Here we go. Oh yeah, that's quick. God, she feels flipping lively today. Oh, very nice. Bit shot. Okay, I think if I go for a jibe, is the boom gonna hit the camera? Maybe. What does that suggest? Let's not go for a jibe. It's not. Whoa. It's not worth it. Risk damaging the camera. Okay, back in. All right, we'll go for a slightly nicer. Oh no, I can't get in the corner. What am I going to do? All right, we're going to go for a jibe. All right, so let's take her off onto a downwind point of sail. Yeah, it might have a little bit more of a pitching motion, but no, ship feels all right. Okay, and let's just pop it through. Nice. Uncleat that, bit awkward. Oh no, jib sheets have gone up the front. It's only a small issue, but all right, we can shorten that a bit. Okay, what I find when sailing like this is if the wind has stayed pretty consistent, which it has today, you know exactly where you need to put the mainsail traveller for sailing in the same style. And we are definitely going to sail in the same style. HP's line set a little bit low, so I'm just going to... Here we go. We got Goose coming in to media 1 as well from the other side. Don't know how much battery I've got, but maybe. It's a bit of a pain. Change the camera again. No, we've got to do this, haven't we? We've got to do this. Okay, let's hunt us down a goose. It's a goose hunt, a wild goose hunt. Haha, who knew? Oh, gosh, I hope that wasn't a forced error. But they went down there. I don't think that was because of us being there. Maybe we made the helm on Goose's boat feel a bit more nervous, which of course when you're nervous can lead to things happening. So at this time, just like to express my sincere apologies for sailing relatively close to the other boat there. Good footage though. Here we go. All right, one more little burn I think. Down into the corner. Here we go. So what I don't want with the main sheet is for it to actually go off the back beam, because that is really awkward. Feels quick. Okay, but yeah, I think this gust is going to leave us, so we're going to come back up a bit. So there we go. Thanks for coming along. That was the full hammer with the dark matter sails, Super R from Whirlwind on the 16. I'm very interested to see what our top speed is going to be. Yeah, so you'll have seen it already, but I'm very interested anyway.